What is going on, guys? Fake Trades here, bringing you to another weekly stock watch list. Before we get started, though, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list. So, as far as earnings for this week goes, my most favorite stock recently, since this has come back into the rotation, is going to be MU, which they are reporting after close on Tuesday. That recently had some chip momentum and catalyst behind it as far as the last week or two goes. So that is something that I will be keeping an eye out for and definitely will be interested on for the after earnings move and see how that's going to report. Besides that, that's pretty much it, though. The only other one that could maybe have some sort of play is Costco on Thursday after close, so pretty much trading it on Friday. But really, I'm not really looking forward to trading Costco, a stock that is typically known to have wide spreads on not only the stocks but also the option contracts. So I'll probably just be skipping that, but it is something else that I'm going to be kind of keeping an eye out for and see how that's going to react with its earnings. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the watch list. First things first, you guys know I like to cover the indexes really quickly just to give you guys an idea of where we're sitting at in the market. So as far as ES and NQ, both of them go for this week, it is pretty difficult to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm really watching. Since we are still grinding all-time highs, we haven't really made a bottom or a support anywhere yet. So some could argue you couldn't make 66.80 a support because they just haven't had a solid close there since Thursday, and we've wicked right there. But really, I'm looking for those big, important support levels. Typically with ES, you find every support or resistance every 50 increments. NQ, it's typically every 100 increments. So for this example, in this scenario that we're currently stuck in, for the meantime, I'm looking for anything above 67.30 for a continuation for all-time highs. And then for support, anything really below 66.50 or even 6700. Since we closed just 19 points above that. So that's what I'm going to be watching for ES. And again, it's the same thing for NQ. I don't want to chart too deep into this in the off chance that we gap up heavy, we gap down heavy. Who knows, right? I'm just trying to give an idea of what I'm looking at for the week. As far as actual numbers go, depending on where we open up tomorrow on Monday morning, you guys know we cover that in the Discord, all the important levels and everything that is currently going on, any catalysts, all that good stuff. So as far as NQ, same idea here. Looking at anything above 24,900 going into the 25,000 level for NQ. As far as the downside goes, we actually have no crucial support anywhere here. I can't even give you guys a number to where I would even begin with. Maybe 24,300, but the problem with that, of course, is we are more than 500 to 600 points away from that. So for the meantime, I'm going to be staying away from anything from the downside just because we have no actual bottom or support anywhere for both ES and NQ. So really just going to be keeping an eye out for all-time highs and a continuation with that. Now, I only have two stocks on the watch list, which is going to be NVIDIA and Tesla. I didn't find much that I could really cook with for you guys, so these are the best stuff I could find. So on the 4-hour here on NVIDIA, there are two ways we can trade this. Now, the issue with NVIDIA, if I zoom out on this, is you guys can see that we have a trend line here. Not a big deal. Looks pretty good. The issue comes playing this trend line break into the level of wherever we want to trade this at. And the problem with that is we've been trading in this area for a while now. You can see the top of the range for NVIDIA is above 184 to 185. That's where the breakout would be on NVIDIA. And of course, along with that, those are all-time high levels on NVIDIA. So we're we're pretty far away from that, $9 to $10 away. So what I'm looking at for NVIDIA for this week is with this 4-hour trend, I don't like to play trend lines on their own. I think that's a horrible trading plan, and I think that's bad for anybody to do out of practice. If you're not playing trend lines into another form of a catalyst, then I would consider it gambling most of the time. So what I mean by this is when I look at this trend line and I'm wanting to play this, I'm looking for some sort of consolidation, some sort of gap, some sort of key level, something to play along with the trend line to make sure the trend line break is valid and it's breaking into something important. So for this example, I probably won't be trading this trend line on its own. The only possible area of entry where I could look on NVIDIA to take advantage of this is maybe the high from Friday, so at 178 going into 180. Obviously, I won't hold the entire move, but I'll be sure to catch some of it. Or if I really want to play it safe and just wait and see how this trend line is developing post after it breaks, then I could maybe even wait for 180 since that is the most recent local high that we have recently. That is close, right, along with the trend line. So it is really tricky, but it is a good-looking setup. It just depends on how it's moving with or without the market. That's typically the big part about NVIDIA is if it has strength or weakness behind it. So that's the idea on NVIDIA. Not really a clear entry anywhere as of yet. Like I said, 180 would probably be the safest. I'm currently looking at 178 most likely to see how we react and how we approach that tomorrow morning or even throughout the week if we break this trend line. So that's NVIDIA. Last but not least is Tesla, the stock that is going to the moon here, guys. We are so close to all-time highs. We are $60 away, which is actually insane to think about that. We are that close on Tesla. The nice part about Tesla, you guys hear me say this time and time again. Actually, let me get rid of these alerts before I start. Is Tesla is a really versatile stock, right? You can trade the really big key setups on it. You can trade a lot of intraday setups on it. There's a lot of ways you can trade Tesla, and I think it's one of the very few stocks that everyone should have on their rotation every single week or even every single day, just because of the amount of liquidity not only that the stock has, but also the options have, which only helps us in our case, right? Since we're option traders, we want to have the best spreads and the best liquidity, so we're able to get in and get out pretty quickly and fluidly. So for Tesla for this week, I'm looking for a retest from Friday's high at around 430 for a break around that. The real level that I have on Tesla isn't until maybe 434 or even 433. 434 is a lot safer since that is around the pre-market high that we got from Thursday morning. But obviously it's not until 434.65. That is more of an early entry. But if we get the right kind of move and momentum that we have been typically getting on Tesla recently, if you guys have been watching that, 434 is a perfectly valid early entry going to that 435 high. So there are two ways I can trade this, 430 or even wait for that 434, 435 high that I'm really looking forward to. As far as the downside goes, I do like this at 410, but obviously I'm not going to go too in-depth about it because we are more than $15 away. So you guys have the trade idea there, 410, if we ever do happen to get down there, which there's always a chance, not saying it won't happen, but just in the off chance that we do come down there. 410 is roughly the area I'd be looking at. And then after that, this low down here at 4250 and then 400. So, but yeah, that's about it for the watch list, guys. Like I said, there was not much I could cook with for you guys. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the short video. And with that being said, before you guys go, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday and enjoy the rest of your week. Peace out.